I'm Ariadna.
I'm Marina.
We are two European volunteers living in Poland.
And you are listening to One Way Ticket, a podcast about living abroad.
In each episode, we will talk with other people about their own experiences.
Whether you are a professional traveler or you have never left your hometown, stay with us. Hello, welcome to the fourth episode of the podcast One Way Ticket. And today we are going to talk about the downs and the loneliness, and not just the negative aspects, but more the emotional aspects of volunteering abroad. Mm-hmm. And today we are with Maria, which is another volunteer. Maybe you can introduce yourself.
Yes, hello. Thank you very much for inviting me to be here. I'm very happy. My name is Maria. I'm 26 years old. And as like Marina and Ari, I'm also here doing volunteering. And I'm in a special school working with children with disabilities.
Mm-hmm. Nice. And since when did you arrive?
I started by the end of September, and I'm going to be here until the end of June, so one scholar year. More or less 9 months, almost 10 months.
So you have done the half, more than the half part of your project.
I'm already seeing that it's going to end in 2 or 3 months. And that makes me a little bit nervous about the future, but I'm very happy of what I did until now.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
So far we are all experienced now.
Yes. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I think it's interesting to start our conversation because we've been here a long time, so probably at some points we had some down moments, but maybe we can start to remember at the beginning, when we arrived, if we had these moments.
So in my case, I remember that at the very beginning I was too excited. I was very feeling everything with a lot of good anxiety about the starting. And it's true that I think I had some ideas in my mind, and then when you get to the place, it's not always the way you thought it was going to be. So because in my mind it was okay, I'm going to arrive and I'm going to meet a lot of people, I'm going to do lots of things, and then you realize that it gets some time to do that. It's not that fast. So I have to admit that at the beginning, at some point, I think that after 1 month, I was okay, did I do the right thing? Because it's not in my mind, I was going to meet 20 people from different countries every day. No, it takes you some time also to get used to the city, get used to the people, to the culture. There are some aspects that I think that can affect you in that way. So I have to say that I was very happy and excited in the moment, and it took me a while to get adapted to the situation that I was going through.
Yeah, I think in my case it was a little bit similar. It's true that I came knowing about these down things, really prepared, you will feel lonely and you will miss your family and you will be really hard, you will find
you were preparing.
Yes, I was coming really with these ideas in my mind, you will have to go through this. So the 3 first months were I'm not feeling anything at all, anything of this, and I am enjoying to be lonely. The 3 first months, it was enjoying the time with me, because it's true that in Barcelona I was not having time for me. So it was really interesting and doing enjoying these kind of things. Okay, I'm finishing work and I just take a tram and I will go, I don't know where, but I will be alone and I don't know, like with me and discovering the city and so on. And I was not missing my family at all. Like I was talking with them and I was like, no, but I don't miss you yet. Like, and somehow it's nice. Like I was thinking like, okay, it's good. Like I'm not missing them. It's nice. But then it's true that the moment arrives. Not when you expect. But the moment is there. And I was like, when I was starting missing them, somehow I was not I was not feeling this as something bad. I was saying like, oh, but that's kind of nice that I miss you because it means that I love you or you are important for me, and it's like beautiful that we miss each other. I don't want to romanticize the situation at all, because somehow I'm in a situation that I know that I can see these people again, and I'm not in a difficult so I'm not in a difficult situation, and I went abroad because I wanted to so the first time it was like not feeling this, and I was like, oh wow, but I'm not feeling this, oh okay, but it's nice, oh wow, and this kind of strange feeling. But then it came, and yes, and I mean it's nice somehow to feel it. Yes, it's somehow nice. I don't know how to say it. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. In my case, it's like the same as you both. Like no, more like Maria. Like I was feeling very excited, and I was not thinking about missing my family or not, because I'm used to live far from them, whether it's in France or in another country. I'm like, it's been a while now that I live far from my friends and my family, so I was not worried about that. But it's the same. Like the first months, I was very excited, and I was meeting a lot of new people. And maybe 2-3 months after I arrived, the volunteers that were there when I arrived, some of them left. And I remember I had 1 week where I was alone, the volunteer was coming back after, but in that time I was alone, and I know she was going back to her country soon, and I was thinking, okay, now I'm alone, and it's nice, I met a lot of people, but it's not like connection that will last, at least not now, because it was the beginning. So I think that was my first moment where I was thinking, well, I'm alone in another country, and I'm like truly alone. Like I don't have my friends that I can visit, like even if it's just 1 or 2 hours away, it's not possible. It's like very far. So, but and even it was very strange, because I remember I was meeting a lot of people at the beginning, and I was also feeling strange about meeting all these people, because it was like, but I'm meeting them, but I don't know them. It was like very strange. So I think that was like the first moment where I thought, oh, okay, maybe I kind of miss my friends. But it's true that I don't really have this for my family. Because I don't know, it's like I'm used to it, and we talk very often, and actually I think I mentioned it in another episode, but we like, since I'm abroad, we talk more than when I was living in Paris.
Okay.
Like we have more a better
That's
relation.
Nice.
So
I have a question, because now I was thinking that somehow this kind of down moments, you have some thoughts, and my question is, have you ever at some point thought about quitting, like what I'm doing here in Poland, or what am I doing with my life? I'm far from my family, I'm far from my home, from my friends, and so I think that it's not something that because I have this feeling that when I started this project, I was so focused on like it's once in a lifetime. I cannot lose this chance, and I cannot quit. It has to be like, it has to work out, because I just have one opportunity. But then it's like, well, yeah, but no pressure. Like sometimes it's not working. There are some things not working. And so my question is if you have ever doubt about what are you doing here?
I think that in my case, the first time that I was like having this breakdown that they tell you that you are going to have, and I remember that I was like, I'm not going to have that because this is going to be amazing. But no, it's true. It's going to happen. It's like a roller coaster. And I remember that I thought, in the first time that I had it, that I think it was like 3 months, it was before Christmas, and I thought, did I make a good decision? Is a good idea that I'm here? But I never thought about quitting. So it was like, I don't know if I made a mistake doing this, but I never thought to say, okay, so I'm going to stop and come back. So I think that it's not bad, because it's a moment. It's also good to, don't be sure about things, but it's better to do them instead of not doing it. So it was not like, I'm going to quit. I'm not going to do that. For now, it's still 3 months to the end, but I think I'm not going to do it. I think that in the end it's worth it.
In my case it's the same. I never thought about quitting, but even when I was like feeling lonely, or I was trying to see the positive and think, well, everything is fine in the project I'm doing, so at least I can have some things, like it's good for, I don't know, but for my professional future, and so the project is nice, and even if I can feel lonely in my social life, maybe it's the time to try to do more things with myself, like just alone, and be okay with that.
I had, as you know, this big breakdown a few weeks ago. And like I was being really conscious that I was down, and I was like, okay. And at some point there was this thought in my mind, like, okay, maybe I have to quit. Maybe it's not what I have to do now. But at the same time, I was really conscious about this thing of, I cannot make this decision right now. I need some time. I need to, because when you are down, like, you need to feel all these things, because at the same time, I don't feel, or I don't think that we have to avoid them. Like, we need to feel it. We need to pass through this if we need it, and but not pretending that we are not feeling this. So we need to feel it, or in my case, I need to feel it, and then after a few days, it's like, okay, what happened? I might like truly. Do I want truly to quit, or it's just a thought that I had at that moment that I was down, like blah blah blah. So I think that's something that it works for me. It's like, feel this, like this sadness, or this having these questions about myself and what I'm doing, and I'm feeling lonely and I miss things, or I'm asking myself like what I'm doing here, what I want to do with my life, and all these kind of things. But maybe don't make this, or at least for me, it works like to not make the decision at that moment, and just after a few days.
In fact, I remember that when I had it, it was before Christmas, and one of my fears was like, wow, I'm going back home now in Christmas, and then I have to come back. What if I don't want to come back? And I was very afraid of that moment, but then when I was there, I was like, everything is the same. Nothing changed. Like, my people is still there. The places are still there. So it's not worth it for me to stay. So there was one moment during Christmas that I was like, I'm happy that I'm coming back. I'm happy that I'm not staying here. So in that moment, I realized that, okay, Maria, you had your first breakdown and it's completely fine. It's okay. And then I think I came even stronger to when I was back from Christmas, to like, yeah, I'm here to do this. It's the decision I made, and it's a good decision. So don't hesitate, Maria. Go and work on it. So, but yeah, I understand the feelings that you're saying.
Do you want to add something?
No.
Okay. Okay. No, I was gonna say that something that helps me as well when I'm having these stabs and I'm a little bit down. To have the routine, like to have a routine. Like I remember that coming back from Christmas, like coming back here from Christmas, because I went to Barcelona as well. I was like, it was quite emotional to be there as well. I like whoa, seeing a lot of people, and yes, it was quite intense. And I remember that when I came back, it helped me a lot to have the routine again, like to start the routine again. Okay, Monday I do this, Tuesday I do this, okay, Wednesday I do this, so, and start working again. So, and it's true that I can feel it right now, that these days I'm better, because I'm like having the routine. Yes, my habits again. So I think it's for me, it helps a lot as well to have this routine and habits, and yeah, I think so. Yeah. Okay.
I think I can talk about Christmas.
Okay.
But it's going to be deep.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
But at first I didn't want to come back at Christmas, because I like when I do this kind of experience to think I'm going to do the full experience. I'm going to live the Christmas abroad and I'm going to do all of this. But then I lost some people from my family, and I decided, okay, maybe it's time not to be, not selfish, but like to think that when you are doing this, you are also imposing, I don't know, like on the people around you that you are going abroad, and so I decided at the end to go to France. But on the opposite, I was not afraid that, oh, maybe I don't want to go back.
Okay.
Because it's like these things I went through, like they gave me I wanted to come back because I want to finish what I started. I'm happy to do this. And like very stupid thing, but we have just one life. So
it's like that.
But at the same time, it was important to go to my family and to show them that I'm here and it's fine and we can like enjoy some good time together. And then I'm coming back, but that we are going to see each other like again.
Yeah, but I think that sometimes we act, I don't know why we act like that, because I was also thinking, okay, when I'm back from Christmas, I'm going to be until June, and I'm not going to come back to Spain. No, I don't want that. But then you have moments that you can do it, and if you need to, it's like, why not? So now I'm like, okay, if now I need to go, I will go. But I was having the same feeling, like, no, I'm coming back from January and telling to the people, like, see you in summer. I'm not going to come back because I have to do this. So, I don't know.
It's like a strange challenge that you do for yourself, like, okay, I'm going to stay 1 year entirely in another country, but then if some things happen, it's like, it's okay, like it's not, I didn't lost anything, like it's not because I'm not staying 1 year fully that the experience is less important, like it was just 2 weeks, but I don't know, in my mind it was like
actually, now that you said about losing someone, I think I was here just a few days when I arrived, and my mom called me and she said like, hey, Leo is dead, which was the family's dog.
Mm.
And I was living with him, like I've been living with him since he arrived at home. And I was like, oh wow, okay. And I cried, but then it was like, yeah, he's not here. But I was not having the feeling that he was not there. Like, I think that when I was not, for me it was like, yeah, Leo is in Barcelona and I will come back.
Yeah.
And he will be there. Because when I left, he was there.
Yeah.
And then when I came back for Christmas, the first thing that I thought before opening the key, like open the door with the key, it was like, Leo is not going to be here.
Yeah.
And it was like quite not hard to process.
Yeah.
But it was really interesting, like how you manage to losing someone, in this case a dog. When you were abroad, like I think that I was not conscious about the losing this. Yes, losing this because I was not there when this happened.
Yeah.
So I was in my mind. It's like, yeah, he's there, and I will come back and he will be there. So yeah, it was. I don't know. I don't know how it would be with a person. Like I think that for me it's a different thing. I know that for some people they love animals as well as people. So it's like, okay. For me, I think that that it was a dog and it was like, okay, I love him, and he is part of my life, but it was not so hard. I didn't need to come back straight away to Barcelona to to leave this with the family and so on. But it was quite interesting.
It's funny because it happened the same to me. Also with my dog, well, my dad's dog.
Okay.
And I think I was here for 1 month or two, but it happened to me too. And I remember that that day I cried a lot, like wow. And then I remember that when I came back, I realized that he was not there, but when I entered the house.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I entered the house and I was like, oh, but he's not going to be here. So I had the same feeling that you just said.
Yeah, and actually I remember when you were talking about this, because it was a few days after I lost my cousin, and she was 18 years old, and it was very hard. And I didn't talk about anybody about this because I couldn't. And I remember when you said that, I was like, I have the same feeling, but it's for a person. It's
exactly.
I remember that I was like, it's like I'm used to be far because she lived in Portugal, so I'm used to be far, and it's like I can't imagine that she's gone. Like I have the feeling that I will go there and I will see her, like, but no. And I remember that when you said that, I was like, but this is what I feel.
Yes. So I have a question for you, because what do you do when you are in this kind of down or blue mood? What is your strategies?
So I think I call them sometimes guilty pleasures. So, so when I'm feeling down, and it depends on the situation, but sometimes just watching a stupid movie, like the most stupid movie that you can imagine, I watch it, or also eating some things, like maybe something sweet or some ice cream or something like that, like something that usually I never buy. It's like, okay, so today I'm going to do it. I'm going to do that. And I think that probably calling someone talk, but then I like to spend time alone. So maybe I'm having a bad time and a bad moment, but I don't feel like seeing other people. So maybe just be in my room or going for a walk and go and eat something. For me, it's why it makes me feel better about it.
I have, like, we share the same thing, that I like to buy things at the bakery
when
I'm not feeling good.
Yeah.
And I remember like in September, October, like I was not good. And I think it's very stupid, but one thing that I would recommend if you go through this kind of thing is just to talk to people. I feel like I think I lost some time just not talking with the people here in Poland, I mean, because I had some people I could talk to in France, but my family was affected, so I could not speak to them every time. And I had a very good friend that was like very helpful, and I could talk to him about anything, so that was nice. But here I think it's nice that in your project you try to speak, like if you're not okay, with the people around you. I think at the time I didn't speak because everybody was arriving, it was just new people, and I didn't want to be the depressed girl, like, always crying, and so I was like, okay, outside of my room, nothing happened. Like, I'm fine. But and so talking to people, buying like sweets at the bakery was a good thing, and going to the cinema also, just alone or. And one of the things I actually did at that time, I bought my guitar in September. Wow. And I was like, okay, I don't care, because when I don't play very well, but when I'm alone and I play, I feel like very calm, like it's very relaxing.
That's nice.
And so I said, okay, I'm going to buy it.
Good.
Yeah, I think that for me it's almost. It's true that I need to say it. Like when I'm down, I need to say it. Like I need to, or when I miss someone. Like I remember, like when I miss this person, I was like taking the phone and just message like, "Hey, I'm missing you," or like not in a bad way, but today I thought about you and I'm missing you, or or talking with my mom or my sister or some friends, like, "Hey, today I'm not feeling like quite well. If you have a moment, we can like make a video call or something and I just need to talk." Like sometimes it's just talking and to say out loud what I'm feeling, when I'm thinking and so on, because sometimes it's like when I say it out loud, it's like, oh yeah, it's not so bad. Like sometimes when I say it out loud, it's like so I think it's spending time with me and like taking care of me, you know, like these kind of things, like buying ice cream, like going to the bakery or just playing the guitar. It's like taking care of yourself, doing this
but
kind
also
of things.
The body, like doing masks.
Exactly. Yes. I don't know if you want to add something. No. Okay. But for me it's nice. I think that we did a really nice chat. It's not easy to talk about these things, so thank you very much.
Thank you. With you it's very comfortable, and I really recommend this to other people. So talk about feelings and say what you think, and don't be scared of what the others are going to think of you.
Yes. And maybe like for more in general, but like if some volunteers are thinking like that, just even talking to your people from the organization.
It's totally
it's true. Tell them that if you're not feeling well, it may affect the work, but it's not because you don't want to work, it's just because you're not feeling well, and they're supposed to be here for you to hear.
They're supposed to. So it's true that talking with the organization or people that it's in charge of the project itself, like it's true that it's an option if you see that you can do it and it's a comfortable zone for you.
And I think it's not only the bad things, like doing this experience has more positive things than negative, so it's normal to have some breakdowns, but I think they are worth it for the future. Like you're going to have a really nice experience.
I think it's part of the experience.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
the entire
exactly.
experience.
The experience is it
good
wouldn't
things,
be
bad things,
yeah.
and maybe not bad things, but maybe this kind of feelings and moments that we don't. That maybe we're not used to talk about it, and maybe it's more invisible because we are not talking about this. But I think it's part of the process.
Yeah, but also because it's like a very long experience most of the time. So of course you will not be 100% good all the time, and it would be the same in your home country because things are not always perfect. So maybe it's more intense when you are abroad because you're not with your friends and family, but it's just normal.
You're
you have
out
to accept
of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
So
Exactly. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much,
Thank
girls. It was really, really nice.
And
we will see you next time for the last episode of the podcast.
yes.
So, see you.
See you. Bye.
Bye.